for my peace of mind, my sanity, and my clarity, this has been nagging at me for a while, and I've brushed it away. But there's so much stuff that has come up, and there's things that, you know, I was exposed to some things, and like, it's just, it's so hard to say stuff without saying. So y'all know, I've come to terms that I don't know who gave me AIDS or HIV, right? So today, I got a message about an interview that I should watch. And this interview happened to include a celebrity man that this man has been with me and everybody else doing the same thing with everybody else. And I
want to say this about Soulja Boy. Y'all gotta give him a little bit of latitude because he a victim. And his booty been ran through quite a bit. They was playing sex tapes, and then the owner of the house pulled out Soulja Boy tape. That's why he's always able to call other niggas on being a swish. Birds of a feather flock together.
Not Jaguar Wright finally throwing her support behind Gena Tew to expose the truth about the person who really infected her. Gena had thrown a lot of hints about who did this to her for years, but she had never actually been brave enough to call them out by name. In fact, she initially flat out denied even knowing that she gave her AIDS. And whenever she was asked about it in interviews, she would always brush it over, making it very clear that she didn't want to talk about it. Well, Jaguar Wright said, not on her watch. According to Jaguar, she isn't here for Gena protecting the identity of the person who did this because that same person is apparently notorious for passing off the virus to other folks in the industry. And Gena's confession is the final thing they need to get this celebrity prosecuted for all the people they've been infecting for years. Now, in case y'all somehow don't know who Gena is, she's a Brooklyn-based Instagram model who went viral after opening up about her STDs, specifically her AIDS diagnosis, which she said she caught after being invited to several Hollywood freak-off parties, the kind that Diddy was throwing. And as y'all know, protection wasn't one of the things in sight at these parties. Bodily fluids were getting mixed up daily with no care in the world about infections, at least not until Gena caught HIV. The whole thing came out around March 2022 when Gena got on TikTok and finally told people why she had been in and out of the hospital. She basically said it was time to get the truth off her chest because she was tired of hiding what was really going on. In her own words, "I think it's about time I get it off my chest so that I feel better. The truth about why I've been in the hospital. Unfortunately, your girl contracted AIDS. And for anyone saying that a pill should take care of everything, it doesn't. I've been through hell and I'm still going through hell."
There are reports claim that he gave you chlamydia?
Yes. He was my only sexual partner, and I was a virgin, so who could have given it to me? A ghost?
Yeah.
And I literally told him that, too. I was like, so who gave it to me? A ghost? At the beginning, I had denied that he gave it to me to him because I was so afraid of how he reacted every time before that when I would bring up STDs to him. It got back to him from someone else.
So how did you find out you had chlamydia? Like, did you, like, have symptoms, or did you just get tested and it came up?
The first time I had sex with him, I swear, I had a rash from hell. I had a freaking rash from hell the first time I had sex with him. It was like a horrible infection that ended up just being like a yeast infection. I got tested both times within a short amount of time.
How did he react when you confronted him, or when he found out from someone else?
From someone else, but I had denied it to him at that point. And I was like upset that like someone else had told him because of how I know how he reacts.
When you were getting intimate with him, obviously you knew that he was like also f***ing a bunch of bitches too, right? It wasn't like he was...
Yeah, but you have to remember that it was under the pretense that he was clean. He kept saying, I get tested as much as a porn star.
Yeah.
So if you get tested as much as a porn star, I'm assuming you're clean. Would have preferred to use a condom, but of course his constant thing was, I'm clean, I get tested a lot, blah, blah, blah. Which I actually found out later on from another girl who reached out to me, and she said, yeah, one of the things that he would always tell me is how he gets tested as much as a porn star in order for us to not use condom.
And according to Gena, her doctors told her she had probably been living with the virus for about 8 to 10 years, just based on how much damage had already been done to her body. Like she wasn't just sick, she was literally close to not making it.
Now, at first, Gena said she didn't know who gave it to her. But later on, she started making certain comments that had the internet putting names on the board and trying to figure out who it was. In 2023, Gena revealed that she was now pretty confident the person who gave her HIV was a certain celebrity man she had been involved with on and off for years and actually had feelings for. She also said she had dealt with cops over this person due to SA, and that something he said in an interview about STDs while he was out here seemingly living his best life triggered her all over again and made her start connecting the dots. Now, Gena made it clear she didn't want to just throw his name out publicly without solid proof, especially because she was trying to handle it legally. But y'all already know the internet does not need a full name to start digging. And of course, Diddy's name ended up getting thrown into the mix.
So y'all know I've come to terms that I don't know who gave me AIDS or HIV, right? So today I got a message about an interview that I should watch. And this interview happened to include a celebrity man that I was sexually with for a few years, and I actually had feelings for this person. And let's just say this interview put a very bad light on this person, and I've dealt with cops over this person due to sexual conduct stuff that I thought was no big deal, so I brushed it off. But the fact that it's coming back to my face and they're telling me stuff about STDs and all this mess, and this man has been with me and everybody else doing the same thing with everybody else, and I don't know how to just brush it off anymore, because it's like, what if, you know, what if this is the person who did this to me and he's living his best life? But hey, you can't have assumptions, because it just makes an ass out of you and me. That's what they say. I'll never know, right? But I just don't like seeing stuff like that. I wake up and it ruins my whole day, because I'm like, I don't think about this stuff for that reason, because I don't want to even, I can't do anything about it. I have it now. I'm half blind from it. I'm dealing with it. But if you did this to me and you've been fronting to me about, it's a lot. It's a lot, y'all. I don't know what to do, but I'm not going to say too much. I'm just going to let it go. It's just too much that I've been seeing and I'm hearing is giving me, you did this to me. But I can't assume. And I'm gonna leave it there, because it is what it is. Can't do anything about it, can you? Nope.
Now, the first name people started throwing out after Gena said all this was Diplo. And baby, this is where TikTok really started doing what TikTok does. So, a TikToker named Shelly August posted a video saying she recognized Gena Tew from one of the viral clips going around. According to Shelly, she had seen Gena before,
but not in a
normal way. She claimed Diplo had previously shown her a private tape of himself and Gena. And in that tape, she said they were allegedly doing unprotected things and baby. Shelly said she was horrified because she had also been intimate with Diplo without protection. So once Gena's diagnosis became public, Shelly said she had to go through multiple rounds of STD testing and therapy just to make sure she hadn't caught anything herself.
Came across this girl's story, and she came forward about being diagnosed with AIDS. Now, to my dismay, I also recognized that this is the same girl who Diplo sent me a video of. You could imagine the horror that went through my mind and my body when I realized that this was the same girl who, not only do I have a video of her having unprotected sex with Diplo, but I also had unprotected sex with Diplo. And when I started doing the timeline of, you know, when she said she got diagnosed, how long the doctors assumed that she had it for, I realized that she had already had it, and had with him before I had.
But as I said, baby, the mess did not stop with Diplo. Once Gena's story started making noise online, people dragged Diddy's name right into the middle of it, too. And honestly, they had a few reasons for looking at him sideways. Now, if y'all remember, Gena said she was homeless at one point while she was in New York. And according to what's been coming out in Diddy's case, New York was one of the main cities where these freak-off situations were going down, along with LA, Vegas, and Miami. So, once people heard Gena say she was vulnerable, homeless, trying to survive, and still dealing with celebrities during that time, the internet immediately started connecting dots. But you see, even before she got on Gena's case, Jaguar Wright had already been exposing a lot of people in the industry for their alleged STD status. Specifically, the DL rappers who supposedly got their back blown by industry executives like Diddy and ended up catching something nasty after the encounter, like Busta Rhymes. There's no direct confirmation that he has an STD, but it's been alleged for some time that he has been slanging his wood into other men without protection. This rumor was fueled by his former bodyguard who said Busta used to pay good money to have gay men in his VIP section.
All my promoter homies would always say, man, you know, we gotta bring some, we gotta bring some, what they call them, I'm not gonna say it on here. They call them fun boys. They'll say, we gotta have some fun boys in the section for Busta. Cause you know, I bodyguarded for Ghostface Killer before, you feel me? And being around him, you hear things, you feel me? I'm like, damn. And my auntie like the biggest Busta Rhymes fan, you feel me? Like every cookout she playing it, all his little fast rapping, all of that, him and Craig Mack playing that. Bro, on my soul, I'm out with a group of people. At this time, I was with Don Benjamin. You familiar with him?
Nah, never heard of him.
Model dude, like a model guy. He be doing like some rapping and stuff. His name Don Benjamin. I'm out with Don Benjamin, and the club we ended up going to, Busta Rhymes in there. So it was a little lawyer guy that was with us. And the little lawyer guy we was with, you know, he was a gay dude, super cool, feel me, good guy. Bro, Busta Rhymes wanted him in his section so bad, like, what? Pulled him to the section, like through the rope, and tucked him off in the corner. So I'm looking like, well, he ain't come with us. But I know he was in the little group. So if I go out with somebody, like a group of people, I try to make sure everybody get there together and leave together. No, he stayed with them. He stayed in there with them, bro. For sure, bro.
I'm walking across the street and Busta Rhymes just grabbed my hand. And he holding my hand. Now, I ain't know it was Busta at first. You know, Busta Rhymes tall. I'm sure I came up to about right here. So the first thing I noticed was this big ass flip mode chain that was blinding me. So I look at the chain and I'm like, and I look up, I'm like, oh, what's up, Busta? What's up? Now he holding my hand the whole time. I'm like, what's up, man? He like, what you doing? And I was like, oh, me and my people, we about to go to this club around the corner. What's up, man? You know, and then, meanwhile, Busta still got my hand in his hand. And he says, you know, I'm about to go in this club. You know, we got a section. You know, you can come in with me if you want.
Now, going back to Jaguar, she also accused 50 Cent of turning Soulja Boy into his boy toy back when Soulja was just starting in the industry as a rookie rapper. Now, I don't know where she got this info from, but she was speaking very boldly with no allegedly in there. So, she must have receipts lying somewhere to show in case she gets dragged to court. I'm just saying.
In the rap game since he was little, just like Weezy.
Yeah.
And his booty been ran through quite a bit. Talking, they called him ass naked. Whoever his big daddy was threw him out ass naked into the hallway. He was walking around in the hallway holding. Has actually appeared on a magazine cover together.
Damn. I know exactly who you talking about.
He's able to call other niggas on being a swish. Birds of a feather flock together.
But Jaguar Wright didn't end it there. She also supposedly tricked Meek Mill and Brazier Gray into what she called a gay freak-off under the guise of a mentorship. According to Jaguar, Brazier and Meek were heard screaming while running from Will's house after Will and Jada had allegedly played with their private parts during a freak-off.
Meek Mills, Bashir Gray, left that house screaming. August the only one that stayed, and I guess he was really sick. He needed the help.
Hey, man. Hey, man.
And that was they kid's friend.
Now, when it comes to Meek, folks initially thought he was getting forced, but a little snooping around, they said he ended up in those freak-offs because he wanted to. He was even named in one of the lawsuits against Diddy as one of the people Diddy allegedly had his way with. And as if things couldn't get any worse, an audio went viral of two men seemingly getting intimate. And it's believed the two men in the audio were Meek and Diddy.
Hey, what's up, King Son? Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, Daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you. Yeah.
And then there's YK Osiris. Back in 2021, rumors started swirling that Diddy flew him out to Jamaica under the promise of boosting his career. YK made this worse for himself when he reposted a shirtless photo of Diddy in the pool with prayer hand emojis, as well as a photo of himself getting a massage while lying naked with the caption, "Listening to that Diddy, eating that good fruit in the beautiful weather." What made the whole YK and Diddy link-up look even more suspicious was the timing, because right before that Jamaica trip, YK had been dropped from his label and was running low on money. People were saying he was going broke and had even sold off some of his luxury cars just to keep himself afloat. So when he suddenly popped up on this lavish Jamaica getaway, folks were like, hold on. If he's supposedly broke, who paid for all of this? And that's why people started connecting it back to Diddy. And then his baby mama made things even messier when she hopped on her IG stories and told fans straight up that she left him after catching him in bed with another man. Her exact words were, "Stop asking me what happened with my baby daddy. I caught him with a man." Okay. There's also Usher, who people claim Diddy infected with herpes at 14 years old when he was staying at his place for a mentorship program. These rumors got worse when an email from one of the publishers of Kim Porter's book leaked online talking about Diddy giving Usher an STD. The email read, "Some of the things in the book cover Diddy's gay relationships, footage of those encounters, the men he slept with, STDs, Diddy giving Usher an STD, and the explosive encounter between Diddy and Usher's mom." To make matters even worse, Usher was sued by a woman back in 2017 for allegedly giving her herpes. According to her, Usher exposed her to herpes during their encounters and that he didn't tell her he had been diagnosed with herpes in 2009. She claims she tested positive after experiencing symptoms and reading online reports of Usher's alleged diagnosis. And of course, a lot of people feel like Diddy probably gave him the herpes when he was a kid. Now, unlike most of these men who willingly gave that cookie up for Diddy to have his way with them, Gena's circumstances were different, and she definitely didn't sign up to get HIV. And from the looks of it, Jaguar isn't done just yet. One thing about her, you can always be sure she'll pop back out with even more accusations. Even any more developments pop out about any of this mess. One person reacted to this saying, "Diddy has been out here giving everybody that Diddy dose. You want a record deal? First, you have to sacrifice your immune system." Another person said, "OMG, how many people has he passed this on to? Wow. Hollywood is full of disease and New York is rotten." But now I want to know your thoughts. What do you think about Jaguar going off about all this mess after all this time? And do you really think Gena caught HIV from Diddy? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And don't forget to click here to watch this other messy video.